Welcome, Pia, to the Aging Fiercely podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to dive into all the goodness that I feel is just like within you because
Mm.
I don't know, I have such a good vibe when I read your stuff. When you pop into my inbox, I'm like, I'm definitely going to read this. Like, you just have such a good vibe all around. So I'm really excited to like get into this. So, say hello, introduce yourself, let people know who you are, what you do, and all that goodness.
Hi, Anne Marie. It's so wonderful to be here. So thank you for having me. And the vibe is mutual. It's also felt. I was listening to also one of your podcast episodes, and it was just about showing up, and it was really inspiring. I left feeling like yes, because that's also my motto. Even when you're not feeling like it, when the perfectionist rears its head, it's like just show up, and that's a huge creativity driver for me.
Yeah,
It's just the recipe to just show up. So
right.
thank you for being you and for showing up in the way that you do and inspiring the rest of us. Um, okay, hi, I'm Pia.
Get into it.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm half American from New York City, half Canadian from Montreal, and I live in Copenhagen. Um,
That's
I
cool
where
right
should I
there. Just
begin?
all that right there is just very cool.
Yeah, no, I'm a recovering nomad. I've moved around ever since I was a kid, multiple schools, multiple countries, and then continued that pattern into adulthood because it's what I knew. But
Mm.
Copenhagen is the spot where I ended up dropping anchor. I never intended it to be that way, but that's just how it
That's how it
unfolded.
happens.
That's how it happens. And so here I am, still here after well over a decade. So it's a good place to be.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, a bit about me. I creatively partner with visionary rebels, unconventional dreamers, and inspired misfits to
Oh my
help
God.
bring their wild visions and ventures into the world to create an impact. In other words, I help people create, whether it's a business, a brand, a creative venture, an art project, people who do things differently to make a difference.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's
Helping
it's
people,
really exciting work.
yeah, to help people tap into their creativity, to actually allow people to realize that they are creative, I think is pretty big right there because we all have it within us, but a lot of us are just like, no, I'm not a creative person. Not for me. I'm just going to stay here and just do my thing and be meh, you know,
Yeah.
not
And
like
once
fully happy, but
yeah, absolutely. And once we really honor and reclaim our innate creativity, then we get to move to the next stage with which is to ask the question like, what do I really want to create next?
yeah, that's always a
And I
fun
think
question. But
yeah, that's exciting to work with people to uncover that because that is where our fulfillment lives and our growth for that matter.
yes, 100%. You have to ask those big questions. And I think a lot of us just don't do it because it's scary to do that. It's scary to take that little leap. And um, just to go into, you have a book that I don't know when you wrote it. Was it recently?
December 2024, and then so it was last year. It was well on the cusp of January, right? So a little less than a year ago.
Oh, less than a year.
And the audiobook just launched a few weeks ago.
Oh, cool. Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna download that too because I love just putting the earbuds in and just
thanks.
walking. But the book is
Narrated by me.
that's so great. I love that. That must have been a process.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, we can get into that. It's doing something new for the first time, which is also to me very much a part of creativity.
Yes.
And then hearing those old voices of like, oh, is that how you sound? And,
Yes.
but then the beautiful part was it's like, it's okay. I'm just going to keep going.
Right.
We get better as we continue to make and we develop. So halfway through narrating the book, for the first time in my life, I actually like the way I sounded.
See, I love what you just said. Like, the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? I mean, that's an obvious, like, overly talked about idea. And it's like so cliche at this point, but it's so freaking true. Like, just keep doing the thing and you're going to get better at it. Like, don't get so discouraged and don't let the voice get so big in your head that, like, like imagine you're halfway through and you're like, I can't stand it anymore. you know, like if you listen to that voice, it just would have like shut everything down. but the better you get at
Absolutely.
doing that.
And I think it might sound like cliche, but here's the beauty about like insights or some platitudes or whatever we want to call them, is that when they're lived and they're embodied, like it's really felt, right? So for me, I've heard that before as well, but I could literally see that truth unfold when I was writing the book and I had to go back and heavily edit the first few chapters because of course they're not going to be as strong as chapter 18. I had been
Right.
writing quite a few chapters up to that point. And that was just really interesting to witness and to see happen in life, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just be old. And the same thing, of course, happened with the audiobook. And I had already forgotten the lesson I learned before. But sticking with it is like, oh, yeah, of course I'm gonna evolve and grow. But we have to be willing to suck first.
Yes. Suck so bad and just embrace the suck.
Totally.
I've sucked
Totally.
so bad at things and I just kept at it.
Yeah, and hopefully we're doing something that we're enjoying as well. And
Yeah.
I think there's more pleasure in it when we say, I say this to my inner judge or perfectionist, which just to normalize it, we all have one, right?
Hmm.
When they come into the room and I'm in that very early suck phase, I'm like, this doesn't have to be good. It's not about it being good. It's about just
Yeah.
showing up for the work and allowing it to be whatever it needs to be. And
Yeah.
then, hey, inner evaluator judge, you can come back later when we're in the editing process, but
Right.
not now, not here. And that helps tremendously.
Yeah. It's like a let me get the work done and then we can figure the rest out. And I do equate that as well to like fitness and well-being and people who are struggling to exercise, it's always like, yeah, the workout might suck, but you showed up and you did it, or the work itself, the creative work might suck, but you showed up and you did it and you gave it your best shot at that moment. And it's like, yeah, let the critic just chill for a little bit. It'll be back. It's not going anywhere.
Exactly. It totally, so
It'll be
many
back.
parallels. Yeah,
Yeah. So
true.
your book is called Welcome to the Creative Club. I'm diving into it and I'm loving it. And there are just so many good like tidbits. Like it really speaks to me. Like there's just things that like pop off the page for me. And I'm just curious, how is it that, working like what's the typical type of client that you have? Are you more working with women or men or is it both? And I'm just curious like how you really help them get into that feeling aspect because let me just read like I bookmarked a little piece of your book and I just want to read this because I was just curious. It speaks to me so well. um so you wrote scarcity, lack, worth, and general not enoughness combine into a pervasive and corrosive belief. Usually the belief is that you're not good enough or worth enough as you are right now. If only you could be your best self, get that promotion, land that gig, find that partner, make that money, fill in that blank, because it's always changing, then you'll be safe, happy, and good enough. What fills in the blank changes frequently. When the thing is attained, a new one takes its place, because it's not about the goal, it's how achieving it will make you feel. This isn't to say don't have goals. I'm saying divorce your worth from your goals. You are worthy as you are right here and right now. I loved that. To me, that just spoke, that's really the crux of like what people struggle with. And I just want to know, how do you work with people to help your clients get to that feeling point where they do feel that they're enough and then that gives them the confidence?
Well, first, thank you for your sweet feedback. And what we do is we get curious. That's always the first ingredient, also for creativity and transformation. It's like, okay, if
Mhm.
you want X, like I really want to get that raise, salary, whatever, fill in the blank, whatever it is. And I'd say,
Right.
okay, well, what about that is important to you? Let's go underneath it, right? And so we start to go on this like quest of removing layers. Oh, well, because then when I have that, this happens. And I'll say, okay, like what about that's important to you? And kind of getting into the feeling, well, actually, I'm looking, it will make me feel free. The freedom is, I think, a value we all share universally. If you ask me, I think if you're human, there's something about the value of freedom is something I think we all share,
Yeah.
maybe to different degrees. So it's
Mhm.
like, then I will feel free to do the thing, take the risk,
Right, 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 right.
right? And so it's okay,
Mhm.
well, what does freedom feel like? When is the last time you felt free? What does it feel like? And then we get curious. Oh, it feels like, a warm breeze, putting my hand out the window on a road trip
Right. Like getting
across
like almost like
wherever.
visceral.
Or like, and what does it feel like in your body? What happens when you feel free? Oh, well, my heart opens or my chest kind of goes back, and I don't know, I get a tingle in my spine, and like is really going into like what's the feeling? And if you have trouble with that, I was like thinking about when was the last time that you really felt that? Can we go back to that place? And can you remember what that was like in your body? What was happening? And then as people are describing this, they're feeling it.
Right. Yeah. It's
And
like,
so then it exactly. So it's really, really powerful to go, wow, you just created that right now.
ah.
You're you're feeling it right now.
Right.
You just
Right.
created that feeling of freedom for yourself in this moment.
Right.
What's that like? And then usually it's kind of like a little, penny drop epiphany, like, oh, like it's not only something external that's going to give me that, it's something I can create within myself.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that creates a shift. And then we can get curious about, like, okay, besides that big thing, what might make you feel free today?
Hmm.
Oh, well, maybe if I allow myself that cup of coffee in the sun and just like watch the light stream through the leaves and pet my dog Max, without running to the next meeting, that would feel like freedom. Great. Do that. Like it's not, we could start creating that for ourselves and getting in touch with what that feeling feels like in our body, and creating those moments already.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that that's sort of, there's a lot of power, empowerment in all of that. And that can happen almost immediately. It takes openness and it takes curiosity and it
Yes.
takes diving in, it takes partnership also to have someone who can be a reflection of what you're saying and to also hear like what voices in the room and what's happening. And, is there something that's blocking the sense that I can feel free? Like, so it's a bigger, it's a bigger partnership and a bigger exploration, but it's really beautiful to witness and to be part of co-creating with someone.
Yeah. Oh my God, 100%. And I think also what a struggle is the time that it takes, like the actual sitting there and allowing yourself to sit there, drink your coffee under the sun with it. Like to actually do that requires such a mental discipline for a lot of people because they're like, this is ridiculous. I'm wasting time. What am I doing here? I gotta go. I gotta do this. I have a million things. Right. So I think like even just the fact of like, ooh, take a breath, sit down. Because what you're gonna create here, you're gonna be able to take into your next doing thing. And you're gonna be able to do the thing with so much more ease and calm and presence. And I think do you find that that's really hard to get people to just even do that first step of like, okay, then let's sit down. Let's do.
Well, there's a big irony here, right? Because most people are getting so busy doing the thing in order to get to a place that allows them to feel free or a certain
Yes.
way. And so for me, the insight or the profound insight is if you don't create it for yourself now, you're not going to have it later.
Right.
What makes us think that we're going to be able to get something later, and especially when we're deepening a habit or a neural
Mhm.
pathway?
Mhm. Yeah.
What makes us think we're going to be able to do that later after multiple repetitions if we can't do it now?
Yeah.
And
Right.
I think that's so important. It's like, what is driving all of the busyness? What's the point? Where are you going? Where are you hoping to go? Where are you hoping to get to?
Yeah.
And it's beyond just the things we're looking to accumulate. Because in the end of the day, we don't take nothing with us, right? So
Right.
there's always values and some purpose underneath what's driving us. We just need to get clarity about what that is. I think they drive us anyway, even if we might not have that clarity. But when we do, we can become more conscious creators of our experience. And that requires a certain rewiring. I do that with myself all the time. It's not a practice. If I catch myself in this like busy loop, I'll be like, you can take a moment. You can take a
Take a time
moment.
out.
Yeah,
You're
exactly. You can know, but you can enjoy yourself. You can have a minute, nothing is going to happen if you're safe in stillness. And that's been a relearning for me, learning how to be safe in stillness and not just safe in movement, because that's what I was taught.
yes. Right. It's
So it's
almost like a nervous energy.
yeah, and it's a reprogramming, rewiring, whatever you want to call it, or
Yeah.
and so it's a practice. It's not like it's not a destination. Otherwise, we fall into the scarcity trap again.
Right.
It's something that we continuously practice. And why? Then we have to ask, like, what's important about that? Well, because I want to be present for my life while I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's important to me. And so I need to remind myself, well, that's why we're slowing down so we can enjoy the life we have while we're living it. Oh, okay.
Right, right. Because there is a finite amount of time here, and it is
Right?
use it to, really get into and dive deep into what fuels us and what fills us and what satisfies us, and getting into that energy. And that's the fact that you can access it. It's always here. It's always like it's inside you. That's exactly where it resides, and it's how it shows up outside. But it has more to do with you, and what you're doing on the inside will alter how it looks on the outside. Right? I'm kind of like stumbling over that.
No, 100%. It's what you believe to be true becomes your experience,
Yes. Yes.
right? So it all starts within. And I think midlife is really important, beautiful point at which a lot of shifts start to happen, because
Yeah.
once you're on the other side of 40, you're like, oh,
You're like,
you
what?
know. Yeah. Also, 30 years, you were 70,
I
right?
know.
I mean, no, but it's important to really think about, because it's like, hey, 30 years is not a lot of time.
It's like
What do
right.
I want to, I'm not saying we're going to die at 70, but 70 some things might get reduced mobility. Like, I
Right.
don't know, hopefully not, but
Right.
if we're working out and doing the things, but you just never know. So it's like, what's really important to me in my life? What do I want to do now? And I think
Yeah.
that can be a great mobilizer for important shifts that are aligned with what really matters to us.
Yes. I think that's a good shift on the narrative, that it's like, oh, now you're older, so slow down, take it easy. These are, going to retire, whatever, like just take a step back. But it's also like, this is such a great opportunity and such a great time, because you are really experiencing that realization that, okay, I am getting older. I am going to be 70 in 30 years or 40 years or whatever. And that's real. And okay, what do I really want to do? What's really important? Because then it just becomes more, I don't want to say urgent, but more powerful, maybe, if you really reframe it and say, okay, what can I do? How can I tap into what I really want now? And especially as a mom, your kids are getting older and you're just at that age where you're just like, okay, they don't need me as much, and I need to disengage, because otherwise I'm like the biggest nag. I'm in that nagging phase. And it's like, okay, disengage, find yourself a hobby, find something else, because your kids don't need you as much. So it's like, how do you evolve? And I think changing that narrative, like, okay, let me tune into me and let me take that time and let me breathe and let me create that space. Because you really can feel it when you tune into it. And I think I also noticed in your book that you mentioned something about regulating your nervous system, and I was curious, do you help clients do that? Like, do you help them get into their bodies and like you know give them techniques or cues or something that they can do to help them, or
Well,
is it
there's
just like
often
a conversation?
it's more like a conversation, in the sense we point back to the body and the body's wisdom. So how does that feel with, how does that feel when X, Y, or Z? And it's like, where do you feel it?
Right.
Okay, what is that like?
Yeah.
And because then the more in touch we are with our bodily, we feel, what's going on, the more we can recognize what state we're in, also just physically.
Yeah.
And I think the body holds so much wisdom. And so generally with the type of sort of partnership I do, it depends. So it's like I have a mixing board and I have coaching, is one thing on my mixing board. And then I have creativity, creative copywriting, creative direction, creative strategy, brand work, everything that I have done throughout my career. And depending where people are on their own journeys, I turn the volume up or down. So
Yeah.
if my coaching volume is turned up very high, generally I steer clear of like advice or tips. I invite people to create their own strategies that are uniquely tailored to them. But of course, I give intuitive hits and powerful questions and curiosity prompters and reflections and blind spots and lots of different things and tools to help them find their own answers.
Hmm.
Because I had a coaching supervisor who once said this to me. It really stayed, and he was, I don't know, he must have been 70. He's been doing this for a long time. And he said, you know, all people are really looking for the answer to one question, and that's what's right for me. And the only way what we can know what's right for us is to be in connected to mind, heart, body, soul,
Yeah.
intuition, whatever word that feels comfortable, for you, for anyone listening.
Yeah.
And that requires spending time with ourselves and getting curious about ourselves and what things feel like, how they manifest, and being able, like, I like to think about it, especially from as we get older, it's like romancing ourselves, taking ourselves on dates again, like
I mean,
asking all the questions we would ask someone that we were like almost infatuated with, like, what's your favorite color? Like, you know,
right.
um,
It's just get curious. Get curious again about yourself. I think that's the biggest part of it. I mean, that's it. Like, yeah, if you want to change, if you want to change something in your life, start getting curious and asking yourself these bigger questions and not really just kind of lulling over them and like, ignoring it by scrolling on your phone or just getting caught up in, busyness, you know, because we all kind of get caught in that circle where it's like, yeah, I could do a million things right now. I could go do the laundry, find something in the yard to clean up, go in my kids' room and organize. And, I could do a million different things, but it's just like I'm avoiding something. And
totally.
it's only going to get like more and more obvious in the body if I keep, putting it down or ignoring it.
And that's such a powerful question to ask, what are you avoiding?
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Right.
Just generally, I mean, usually we're avoiding something, and I've been there, so absolutely no judgment. After coming from a difficult divorce, I don't know if any divorce is not difficult, but
Mm,
hopefully there's some out there. A challenging divorce and an unhealthy rebound, and throwing myself into work and feeling like nothing felt right. I leaned on work as a means to remain busy and avoid feeling the things I was feeling,
yeah.
for a while. And that was until life pressed on the brakes of my speeding car and threw me through a window, and I got fired and
Ah,
left me with the shards of my life, and really having to stop
yeah.
and look and take stock and go, fuck, like what's
Yeah.
going on here? And I am so grateful for that, for getting fired. Because I remember at the time ego did not like that. It was my first time. But later on, I could quickly see how that was such a life-changing moment for me because it forced me to stop and feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get into your story, definitely, because it's very interesting.
Mhm.
You have a lot going on and first of all, I love your story about there's two kinds of fear, right? Like the natural fear, like the story you put in the book about you going to see your boyfriend on the subway at like midnight and you're heading into the Bronx and you happen to find like the world's nicest gang member. I mean, that's a blessing right there.
It really was.
But that's like natural fear. Like that's fear to like, yeah, I probably should have like tuned into my fear and been like, this is a little dangerous, as opposed to the fear of you getting fired and then, questioning if you should invest your money in a coaching, or I'm not exactly sure what it was, or if the Trans-Siberian trip, or, should I
Yeah.
invest my money in myself? And that
Yeah.
is kind of like a different type of fear that you really need to question and analyze and be like, is this really fear or what is this? What? Yeah. So I want
One thing that,
yeah.
yeah, one thing that really helped me, a lot when it comes to fear, identifying and discerning between different types of fear
Mhm.
was when I was again doing coaching certification that, fear gets really loud when we're on the precipice of big, juicy change.
Mm.
When we're about to leave something we've known, maybe something we've been very successful at doing, and we're about to leap into the unknown, into what's next. And fear just starts to scream, come back. Come back to the couch. It's nice here. We can eat Cheetos and watch Netflix, and you don't got to do that scary thing. What are you doing? And,
Right.
fear is just trying to keep us safe. So we can say, thanks a lot. I see you. I appreciate you, but
Mhm.
we're gonna jump, right? And so hearing that is just normalizing that's when fear gets really loud, is when we're on the cusp of a
Mhm.
like big change, was really helpful to me because it was like, oh, and then I was able to recognize that in my life. Like, oh, it's because I'm about to do something new, uncertain, unknown, and leave something that I know.
Yeah.
Um, and those extinction moments are really important.
So how did
So
you
for our
get
creative evolution, sorry to interrupt you.
no, 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 that's okay. I interrupted you. How did you like mentally work through that?
The only way of really working through that, if you ask me, is action. There's no like mentally working through it because the
True.
mind is just gonna tell you all the reasons you shouldn't do the thing. And you can just end up kind of in this like anxiety loop or questioning loop that then puts us in a holding pattern,
Yeah.
right? And so action to me is the antidote. So
Mhm.
doing the thing. So when I was at my last agency role working as a creative director at a purpose-driven creative consultancy. Everything was great on paper. It was good. It was doing what I'd been doing for a long time, but something else had been calling me for a long time, like whispering at night and maybe even heckling, like, hey,
Really?
what would happen if you channeled your creativity into building your own damn dream and business and brand, right? And I was
Right.
like, yeah, I have no idea what that will be. This is fine. I don't even know how I would like the pipeline, how dots
Right.
connect. I don't know. Like, no, we're going to stay here. That was fear, right? It was like keeping
Yeah.
me, keeping me tight and, kind of in what I knew and what felt comfortable.
And just a question, because again, in your book, another part that I love was the 7-Eleven clerk.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's kind of like who you're, right? I feel like that's like the all-knowing um piece of it where he's just like everything you need is right here. What's keeping you from choosing? And you're just like, but what if this goes wrong and that goes wrong? And he's like, bullshit. He's like,
It, exactly.
I love
But
that you
for
personified that.
Thanks. But for me, it took something bigger to help me. I don't even want to call it bigger. I don't know. It took a life altering event to give me the courage to make that first jump. And that was my mother's death. She died suddenly in 2021. And one of her passing gifts was a big old shot of courage, a reminder that life is finite. This is a limited series. We all have a hidden expiration date because my mom was in really good health. She was only 71.
Oh,
So it just
sorry.
thank you. It was the hardest thing I ever went through,
I'm
but
sure.
it also, again, parting gifts, like that reminder that, like, hey, I will die and I don't know when. Not to scare the shit out of me, but
Right. Oh, it's
to
reality.
yeah, it's reality, but it's kind of when until I touched it, it was close to me because
Yeah.
death had never been that close to me before. I felt like this abstract concept that's going to happen to somebody, but not me somehow, right? And when that happened, I was like, hey, wait a minute, what am I waiting for?
Mhm.
I mean, one day I'm going to lose everything. I walked my mother home, so I saw it. What
Well,
am I so afraid of losing? What's going on here? Like, if not now, when? Like, this isn't a guaranteed thing. And within a month, I quit my job.
uh,
Boom. I said, that's it. No, because also I felt like I was living kind of outside of reality.
mhm.
The world felt really weird.
Oh,
It just strange. Like life just continues after this momentous thing happened. And you're just
yeah.
like, is this real life? What's happening here? It was a very surreal few months. So I quit and I started Collective Studio. And so here's the good news. Like I started to create evidence for myself that like I wouldn't be thrown out on the street, and all those terrible things that I thought would happen did not happen. Doesn't mean it wasn't a struggle sometimes or challenging, sure, but I was okay. I was just fine. I didn't die, right? It was okay. So I had been creating evidence for myself that I could, of course, take those big leaps and take those risks and do those things, and that my future self would catch me, and that the universe had my back, and I was going to be all right. And so that was great because, unbeknownst to me, I was building my muscle, not only to be in uncertainty, but building my muscle for trust and risk. So when the book idea came, I had the hybrid publisher reach out and say, "Hey, have you ever thought of writing a book?" He was also a good salesman. I'm like, "Yeah, I've thought about it." Once again, I don't know what it would be about. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think we ever really know before we're about to start on a new creative venture, whatever that might look like. But it only took me 24 hours to make the decision, and it felt big. I mean, it's not perhaps as momentous as leaving your job, but it was a big investment across the
Yeah.
board,
Oh,
time,
yeah.
money, all of it. So, but 24 hours, the same question, like, if not now, when? Does this have meaning for me? Yes. What's my intention? Hopefully to create an impact in someone else's life. Great. So why wouldn't you do the thing? Okay, thanks very much. Like I had that talk with myself
I
24 hours, and
know.
then and that showed me that it's when we take those leaps, right? And when we catch ourselves, it opens up whole new worlds and possibilities because we're building a muscle to leap again. Now our calf muscles are like good, and the more that we keep using them, the stronger we get. And the more, for me at least, fulfilling and free life feels, because I'm not restrained, weak calf muscles and all by fear
Hmm.
that keeps
Yeah.
me small, under malnourished, and in places that are very known and comfortable.
And yeah, they're not even that comfortable sometimes.
No, but it can feel more comfortable than what we don't know, right?
Yes. Yes. It's the lesser
Somehow,
of two evils.
right?
Yeah. I know. That's amazing. It's just you can like feel that.
Mm.
You feel when it's scary and it's right, but also I love that you're building trust. You're building trust in yourself. And I think that's huge. A lot of us don't really trust ourselves or believe in our abilities or think we can do something. We just really let that little voice just run the show. I mean, that's
But
it.
that's the most important thing, that our relationship with ourselves is the most important relationship we'll ever have. And all relationships are built on trust.
Hmm.
And the way that we show that we can trust ourselves is by doing things and then showing up for ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like
And that's
how that's
it.
how you build trust.
Right. But that's it, because you can't control what's going to happen. You can't control the outcome. You can say, I'd like to have this happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Something's going to happen, but it's not within your control. The only thing that's within your control is that A, you can trust yourself, and B, you show up, and then you just see what happens.
Absolutely. And the more that you do it, the stronger your trust muscle gets. And the more, I don't know, the more freeing life can feel, or at least the more alive I feel.
Yeah.
And the more guided you are by yourself. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, I can trust my decisions.
Yes. Right. And you make these conscientious choices. You use your logical mind, you use your conscious mind, but that seeps into your subconscious mind. And 90% of our lives, our days are run by our subconscious mind. So you're actually like changing the program just by building trust in yourself. I think that's
Absolutely.
such an like a not known fact. Just trust yourself to like make the right decision. And if you screw up, you screw up.
Then you can trust yourself that you'll figure it out. Like
Exactly.
it continues. And
Then
at least you were courageous enough to try, right? I mean, that's something to be hella proud of. Like, hey, that didn't work out, but wow, look at me. I was brave enough to go for the thing anyway. And of course, I'm going to figure it out. Do you know? Of course, I'll be okay.
right.
And so you just continue that reprogramming, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Of
It's a
trust as
total
you keep doing it.
it's a total reprogramming, because you got to get into that subconscious level and you got to change those autopilot behaviors. The only way you do it is start from the top, start from that like 10% conscious area and let it seep down into the subconscious. And you're going to see things starting to shift slowly. But I just love the idea of trusting yourself. And I guess it probably rings so true because I have issues like trusting myself, like, can I really do this? Do I have the ability? You question everything. But then at the end of the day, you just gotta be like, you know what? I can question for years.
Yep.
And what's that gonna do?
And what might it be like if you did trust yourself? So what might that conversation look like? So the next time that little voice comes up, that inner saboteur, and it's like, really, you think you have the capacity or the capability of being able to do that? What if that trust came through? Like, hell yeah, I do. I know I do. I trust myself completely. That is a big
That,
affirmation for
that's
me
a
every
huge
morning.
thing to say. Yeah, like that is
Yep, every morning I have three, usually two that I repeat, and the third one sometimes I forget. Just full transparency. I
powerful.
trust myself completely. I trust life completely. I'm grateful for all that I am, and all that I have, and all that's coming.
Nice.
But I trust myself completely, and I trust life completely. Like that just grounds me every morning.
I gotta say,
That's also part of it.
I'm gonna steal that.
Do it. And the other thing I want to say about that is, we're speaking about the 10% and letting it like trickle down and inhabit the whole percentage. Is for me, belief is one part of it. So first becoming aware of what script or belief is running in the background,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
once we become aware of it, because without awareness, we can't change it. You can't change what you're not aware of. If you don't know it exists, you can't change it, right?
Yeah.
So it's becoming aware, and we become aware by activating our curiosity and saying, oh, I did this thing. That was weird. What made me do that? What belief might have led to that decision or that behavior? So we start to like, again, back to the curiosity. And then when we can identify what the belief is, we get the chance to ask ourselves, is that helpful or is it harmful?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's harmful, if it's helpful, great, keep it. But if it's harmful, it could be, is that mine? Is that inherited? Is that society's? Is that my parents? Did I come up with that? Oh,
Right.
again, just to get curious and then say, well, no, that's not working for me. I'm going to rewrite that. And literally it's just flipping the script. Like if you believe there's not enough in the world, then there's more than enough in the world. So literally just flipping it. But that to me is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you excuse my language, but if you move from like, oh, I can't afford it, and then to like, I'm a rich bitch, like, you have to do the
Right.
thing, you know,
Has to
if,
be
but if you act like you don't have enough, right? Let's say if you go to the grocery store, obviously everything within reason. But if you go to my grocery store example feels within reason. You go to the grocery store and you have like your favorite cereal. Cereal has gotten really pretty crazy expensive. And let's just say it's like $9, right? And you're like, oh, I'm only going to buy the one on sale or buy the one I don't really like very much. I mean, you're creating cognitive dissonance because you're acting in a way that is opposed to the new belief. So
right.
how is that how's your body, how are you going to believe that? You have to behave in a way that's aligned with the new belief.
Mm-hmm.
So I think without the behavior, it's belief and behavior that creates shifts and change,
Yes.
then it's not really going to be fully embodied. And I
Right.
catch myself doing that. Like I practice that also on myself. Like,
Yeah. Oh
hey,
yeah.
wait a minute. What belief is that behavior reinforcing?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Right?
Yeah, because you can't just, and that's why like mantras and affirmations are good, but there is that second element to it. Just saying something and then your body is completely at odds with it, it's not helping. It's like they're butting heads, and that's not going to create any change. It's the slow integration of the two and the two working together, and then you're finding ways that you can actually feel that, okay, yeah, okay, I feel that that actually resonates in my body as I'm saying it, and that's the connection that you want. That's like where the affirmations come in, and then they really do their work, and then you're able to shift. So yeah, you have to
Absolutely.
like the behavior has to support what you're saying.
100%.
It's all about change right there. It's like the magical sweet spot. So, how can people get more of you? Like, what do you do? How do you work with clients? I know you do both branding and coaching. So, how does that work?
Well, I mean, the red thread is all the people I work with are looking to create something.
Hmm.
They could be looking to create a new version of themselves into who they're becoming next. Well, I do believe that, I mean, that's why the coaching element is so critical,
Yeah.
because it's not just about the business venture project or thing you're looking to create, it's who you get to become in the process.
Yeah.
So it's really merging those two things and getting curious about the creative, which is you. All humans are creative. If
Yes.
you're human, you're an artist at work or play, whatever suits. And so getting first curious about what's important about that. What is it that you really want? And then being able to partner with them to help bring that to life. So it could take many different shapes. It could look like I worked with an interior designer who was really, usually I work with people, they're at a sticky juncture. And they're
Hmm.
at like a pivot point.
Okay.
Something is no longer working, or they have big aspirations, or they know they're meant for more and they don't know exactly what shape or what that might look
Right.
like.
Right.
And they're ready to have partnership to
That's
co-create that
fun.
vision. It's so fun.
That's
And
such a
so, some people have an idea of what it is. Like, okay, for her, it was like, I want to become a lifestyle brand. I know I'm meant to do more than this and have a huge impact, not only interior design, but I have no idea how to get there. Can we work together? And it was a wonderful project that had elements of coaching, but it also had like, because the element of coaching is really listening, getting under the skin of what someone is jonesing to make real in the
yeah.
world, and then being able to channel that energy through copywriting and brand strategy and really co-create that together so that by the end of it they're ready to launch. Like she
Ah.
launched her business, right, her new business, and she's doing fantastic. She was just on a TED talk. She's great. So and then also working, sometimes I've worked, not sometimes I've worked with creatives who also feel blocked and something is stopping them from creating, for example, it was a manuscript, and then really getting under the skin of what's going on here.
Mhm.
And then, being able to unleash herself really and her creativity to finish the manuscript, which I then partnered with her to do some of the work on with. So it's that like really sweet combination, sweet spot of,
Yeah.
the Venn diagram of where creative coaching and then sort of creative, copywriting, direction, all the work that I've done can come together
Yeah.
to really make it real. And then there's some other clients that might more be, focused on a more traditional coaching journey where we might not necessarily create something at the end of it, but they are in the process of creating themselves.
That.
So it really depends. And that's what I love because humans, man, we're so beautifully different, each and every one of us. So I don't believe in templates, or, it's like we create a tailored approach I create a tailored approach to every client that I work with. And I've discovered that I work more with women, but I also work with men. There is that red thread is like people who do things differently to make a difference. That's like been the easiest or
Yeah.
the most succinctful way of describing the kind of people that I work with, and
Right.
people who are looking to create, whether it's to create some kind of change. Sometimes they know what it is, sometimes they can just see the outline and it's fuzzy and they need partnership, and then sometimes they'll continue the journey with me to even make that clear, so help them birth the thing. And other times they'll say like, great, thanks, like I got the vision, I can see it, I understand, I got what I need, and I know who I need to be to make that happen. Because that's another really important part, like who do you need to be to create that?
That's it. Like, that's it. Like, that's like with anything, the clients that I deal with, it's like, who do you need to become to feel good in your body, to build that strength, to push yourself, to know that you can do it? Like, that's what it is. Like, who do you need to become?
Exactly. And to me, that's the sustainable, beautiful partnership approach. Because when you enable or facilitate or empower someone to become that version of themselves that can do those things,
Mhm.
they take that with them. It's
Yeah.
not, that's theirs. That's theirs. It's their success. It's their learning. It's theirs. No, it's their insight. It's not just like finding a solution that's executable, like here's your 4-day plan,
Yeah.
but without really tackling what's stopping that person
Yeah.
doing it. then it's not sustainable because that person's going to need you to keep creating new plans because they're not targeting the heart of the matter, right? Which is, who do I need to be to do the thing? And I think in that way, the journeys are really beautiful because it's like, you got this. Like, we just need to
Right.
uncover it together.
Yeah.
But once you got you, and you're going to continue getting you, and you're going to see things continue to shift and change as you move as this version of yourself. And you don't need me to do that. And
Yeah.
I personally really love that because it's not about me. It's about the person, human in
No,
front of me.
exactly. Exactly. It's not about like, I don't need you to stay on with me. Like,
Exactly.
I don't want you to. Like, I have some short programs and I design them that way because I want to just get in and get out. And I want to be like, what I end up doing is not, I don't really give plans for like workouts or any of that anymore. It's more like, okay, let's get into the head because that's step one. And once you kind of get the inner workings and understand that that's really what's holding you back, then I can let you go and you are going to be so much more able to step into this new version or, take the next couple of steps without overthinking it, without feeling like
Absolutely.
you're stuck because now you're like, okay, now I know this is who I have to be. This is the things that have been keeping me stuck or whatever it is. It's more just like, I feel like I'm more like a mindset coach than like personal trainer / accountability coach. Cause it's like, I just want to get in your head and I want to like help you like find out what it is that you're thinking that's like keeping you stuck. And it's such a good feeling when they get it, and they're willing to get it,
Absolutely.
just to be
I
able.
think that's the most powerful work you could do.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Totally. It gives them such a good, like, launch pad, I feel.
How do you describe yourself?
It's hard.
Well, that's why I was thinking. I was just wondering because I don't recall seeing like mindset coach
No,
or.
yeah, no, because I don't know how to market that part of it. The
Oh,
personal trainer accountability coach is like kind of, I mean, the personal trainer is obvious. Like everybody,
yeah.
and I am trying to steer away from that because I don't want to go, I've done that for years. I've done that for over 15 years. And
Well, what if you combine the two, like mindset for physical strength? I'm just making some bad names up, but you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like, well,
I
what
know. Yeah.
if you kind of connected the two so it's still obvious, but it just
Yeah.
expands your territory? Just
Yeah.
curious.
I've definitely thought about it and yeah, it's a matter of marrying the two where it makes sense, where people actually understand what they're getting. And it's not, I don't want it to be vague, you know, just get them.
I'm wondering, I just got curious, like what else might be stopping you from claiming that?
I think it's more just I want to be 100% clear on what it is that I'm offering. And maybe I'm not 100% clear on what it is. It is accountability coaching, but it is a partnership as well.
What's important about being 100% clear?
I guess more for marketing purposes, the stuff that I write, the copy that I create. Maybe I feel like I need to be 100% clear there.
To do what?
Oh, this is good stuff. Oh boy. Yeah, to help. You see? Yeah. There we have a little disconnect here. We have a disconnect.
Well, I mean, I'm just getting curious again, like what
Yeah.
does the 100% clear give you? What is it?
I guess it gives me certainty. It gives me clarity.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Certainty. And what does certainty give you?
Um, I guess just more of the ability to know what I'm doing. Oh my God, this is crazy. It's so funny. My son, he's 11, and he asked me, "What does aging fiercely mean?" And I was like, I stumbled because I'm like, how come I don't have like an easy explanation for an 11-year-old? So yeah, there's work that needs to be done there for sure. But it definitely is about, reframing the narrative around middle age. But, saying that to like an 11-year-old, they're like, what does that mean?
How else might you say it?
To an 11.
Here, just let's ask your gut. Like, let's tap into your gut. Asking your gut specifically. How would your intuition? How would your gut say it? What's age? I mean, let's pretend. What's aging fiercely mean?
Aging fiercely is believing that you have the ability to build strength, to create a different life, even though you're in midlife, where the usually feels like, okay, here I am. I'm old now. Everything's going to go to shit now. So, you know, does it even matter what I do?
You actually said it in the first few lines before you
Before
continue to explain it. Yeah, before you continue, you wanted to like. It sounds like there was a. You said something along the lines of aging fiercely is for people who want to change to move into middle age. I'm butchering your words.
Yeah.
Move to middle age. And making with the strength and power to make important life shifts that give them a sense of fulfillment and aliveness. I added those last two because it's always nice, like in order to do what, like when you age fiercely and you feel strength and power to make life shifts, then what, right? So there was clarity in what you said, and then I heard doubt come in the room.
Yeah, it did. Definitely.
And so I get curious about if you trusted yourself fully.
Mm.
Would you what would having 100 how important would having 100% certainty or clarity be to you?
If I trusted myself, like how important is it?
Yeah, how important would it be if you trusted yourself completely?
Yeah. No, that's an excellent question. Right. That's why trust is so important.
Yeah, you could say I trust myself that I don't need to be 100% clear. I mean, who's 100% clear about anything? I don't know. I haven't met anybody who's 100% clear. Like, also 100% clarity is a closed door. It's certainty, but it means that it's a room with a closed door, right? You know where the ceiling is, you know where the walls are, you know where the floor is. It's 100% certain, so it's also small.
Right.
When you have uncertainty, it's frightening as hell because anything is possible. And it's also the realm of infinite possibilities because anything is possible. So there's more openness. You're in an open field. It's uncertain. There's some things you know, some things you don't know, which gives room for things to emerge and unfold and for you to discover things about yourself, about your practice, about your clients. But it requires trusting yourself completely. So if you trust yourself completely, then you can be less uncertain, not entirely clear, whatever the words, about how you frame what it is that you do, but still feel connected to it and trust that you and your people will get it.
I think that's why, like, when you said trust, it was such like, I felt that, and maybe I felt that because it was like, you need to work on this. Hello.
Well, what I'm hearing is it feels personal training and accountability feels 100% certain. But what I'm also hearing through our conversation, it's not really lighting you up in the way it used to.
Right.
Because you've had recent insights and discoveries about what really creates shifts, which is also connected to aging fiercely, by the way, life shifts, right? So there's a red thread.
Right.
There's a hesitancy to claim that because it's uncertain, because it's new.
Yeah. Definitely.
So the question is, will you trust yourself and your clients existing in perspective that they'll get it if you claim both mindset, however you want to mindset and add that to personal training, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, that actually feels right. Yeah, you can actually feel that shift.
Where do you feel it?
Well, like up in here, it just feels a little bit more open.
Yeah, I do.
Like it's like I can see it blending. Yeah. You're good. You're good. It's like you always know, like you're on the right path when those answers just are not coming, and you're like, "Shit, why aren't the answers coming?" And I do hear that doubt just coming in, and the doubt is like trying to like just finish the sentence and like get it
Yeah.
out there and like you don't even know what you're saying. And yeah, it's
And
crazy.
that's trust, like trust that I don't have to say it eloquently. I don't have to defend it. I could just say whatever I want to say about it, and that's fine. I trust myself. Like aging fiercely is about helping women rediscover their power as to make life shifts that are really important to them because aging doesn't have to mean like life is no longer fun or whatever. You could have even stopped earlier. So it's just you get to do that.
Yeah,
Especially when you trust yourself. Like, what would it be like if you just trusted yourself and said shit and not didn't have to be 100% certain? Because
right,
that's also where the magic lives, is in the uncertainty and leaving
right.
some room.
Yeah, and just like letting it rip, just letting it fly,
Yeah,
just letting
let it
the words
rip.
come out. Like, who gives a shit if they're not the
Yeah.
right word? Like, just let it out. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of editing and a lot of censoring and a lot of like feeling like it has to be done or said perfectly, and it's like, fuck that, just get it out. Just
Yeah.
get it out.
And you know what else? People respond to imperfect because that's what we humans are. We're
Resonate.
beautifully flawed, right? And especially in a world of AI or a thing, what's perfect and polished doesn't feel human.
Yeah,
So I think
right.
there's a beauty in the imperfection, a beauty in the rough edges, and then like the
Yeah,
words that might be a little different than the ones you might expect. And all of that makes us human and relatable. And
yeah,
it makes us vulnerable and it creates connection. There's a vulnerability in just having the courage to not be perfect, to not have it be 100% certain, but have it come from your heart or your gut, and then you
yeah.
just say it. People will feel it, even if they don't understand everything perfectly.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. It's so true. Just let it out.
Well, you're amazing. Imagine the impact you would have if you really trusted yourself and fucking went for it.
Oh, yeah. We're working on that. We're getting there. We're getting there. This helps. This helps. Excuse me. Yeah, that was good. That was good. You're good. You're good.
You're great. You're
Oh my gosh.
amazing. You're
Tell
amazing.
me. Thank you. Tell me where people can find you. Where are you?
Where are you in the world? I'm on
How many
planet Earth,
places are you?
spinning at
I
a
want to find
thousand miles per hour across the Milky Way. No, I'm collective.studio is home base. It's my website. It's where you can find out everything from the work that I do, how to book a chemistry call. Um, what else? My book, how
book.
to find my
Awesome.
book at all different Amazon.com
It's
and
so good. It really speaks. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's just, I'm not even like fully done with it and I'm just like in love with it. It's just the
oh,
right and the descriptions and it's just like, I feel it. And yeah, and your newsletter too. Like definitely sign up for Pia's newsletter. It is so good.
oh, thanks. That means a lot. I'm receiving it with a full heart, and that's the place to be. And I welcome anyone who wants to come into the beautiful space and join the collective
Yeah,
or the
it's so
creative
good.
club or
It's so
both.
good. Yes, yes, definitely. Because also like you write and it's just not, it's not like, cliched or anything. It's just like real and it's like, you just get to the heart of it. It's funny and it's like, you know, it's a gentle rebellion, which I like.
It was a labor of love, so your words are like a beautiful balm.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Thank you.
You can tell. You can definitely
Yeah,
tell. So it's got a lot of good energy around it. Pia, this has been amazing. I love
it
this entire
has.
conversation. I could keep going, but I want to be cognizant of your time and respectful. But thank you so, 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 so much. I really enjoyed this
Thank
conversation.
Thank you so much. I really did too. I enjoyed our very first conversation, and this one is no different.
Yes.
I'm rooting for you, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to create next.
Oh, and I have one more question I want to ask you.
Sure.
What's one piece of advice you would give women who are looking to age fiercely?
Ooh, I would invite them to become the creative director of their lives. Imagine that. Imagine there's like that black director's chair with your name on the back of it, and you get to sit on it and eat M&Ms that are just the blue color. And you can look at your life and just get curious about the next scene. Because sometimes it can feel overwhelming, like, oh, my whole life. Just get curious about the next scene. Like, what would I like to create next for myself? Like, what would the set design be, costume design, the script, the soundtrack, all of it. And I'll give a small example. Like, for me, that can look like if I get conscious and I'm like, what do I want to create next for myself? What's the scene?
Mhm.
It could be putting on doshi on the speaker,
Mhm.
dancing in the kitchen in my old Guns N' Roses tattered favorite t-shirt and like bright red lipstick, drinking cherry kombucha, and just like that's a scene. It's a moment I created. And by creating that moment, I'm creating evidence and reminding myself of that, of course, I'm the creative director of my life. I
Right.
get to do that. And so that's my invitation. More, less advice, more invitation to become the creative director of your life and figure out, what's that next scene I want to direct and create?
Love it. That's perfect.